Hey, it's your girl Heather Jen, and you're tuned in to Justified Juice.
So, Miss Heather Jen, what would you say pretty much sets you apart from the other singers? Not necessarily just Seattle, but other singers in general.
Well, I do a lot of the production of my music, and I'm a classically trained pianist. So even though it's a lot of R&B and pop, you will, if you pay attention to the production, there is some classical influence, and especially when you hear the piano on some of the songs. So I think that would be different. And I think overall my sound, the feedback that I've gotten so far, it's pretty unique. I don't think it compares to too many artists out there and what their sound is right now. So I can't get enough of your love. I would say pop.
Pop?
Pop.
Was that your aim, or was it just kind of something that happened that way, and you know, that's the feel of music that you start to get?
It's just happened that way, I think. I mean, I was going more for R&B, and I do have some R&B cuts on my album, more R&B, but mostly pop. I think pop, for me, it allows you, it's more of a bigger box.
Right.
You can kind of go different directions a little more. R&B kind of restricts you a little bit. That's just my own opinion.
Definitely understandable, because if you think about it, with R&B, when artists kind of go out of the box, they're like, you're not R&B anymore, what happened? And it's like, you're pop, you can kind of do whatever you want.
Exactly, and you can end up having like a rapper on there,
Exactly.
You can have another pop artist on there, an R&B artist, so I think that's really cool.
Definitely makes sense. Now,
well, so this project, there's a man in my life. Let me answer the question right now. But when I started the project, I was single. So I would say most of the songs were written and pre-production was done. And during the process of it, I did meet somebody special.
Oh no. So technically, was it like what you would want your relationship to be like, or what you're kind of like fantasizing about? Is that where passion came about?
Passion is actually more what came about. I know that a lot of my songs is about love and passion like that, but really the overall theme of passion is my passion for music. It's just, I feel like music has been part of my life, all my life. I started playing the piano at the age of 4, and pretty much from there on, music has played a role in my life ever since then.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He is a mentor, somebody that I work with production-wise with my music. He's my friend. I met him actually through Chris Steele, who is his assistant engineer, and they've been working together for like a decade or longer. It just happened by chance. I was about 4 years ago, maybe 4.5 years ago, I was involved in a startup recording studio, and I was throwing out ads there to find engineers, songwriters, producers, you know, everybody, the whole team, to build a team. And Chris Steele responded to the ad to be an engineer there, and from there on he introduced me to Vida, and at the time he had the Pharmacy, which was his studio back then, and that's kind of how we met.
Now, I think it was on the 5 Minute Away podcast where you guys talked a little bit about, and on your website, you were being shopped for labels at one point. Right now, you're independent. Do you feel like you like being independent and potentially taking the Macklemore route, or would you possibly be like, you know what, I would rather have a label working with me right about now?
Right. It really depends on, you know, the game has changed a lot. It just really depends on what deal they would offer. You certainly won't take something that, you know, you're going to end up where you don't get anything, but if it's something more like a partnership, maybe that's a different route. I am independent, but I do work with another group out of the East Coast. They're called the Debonaire group, and it's kind of separate from what I have done with my album, because I started that project before I started working with them, but we've got a whole nother project outside of Passion going campaign, and it's going on the East Coast. Or
that sounded like something we'll need to dig
yeah,
into a little bit more.
I'm actually working, like after my album was done, I started working with them, and they hooked me up with Jalo Beats, the Rock Nation producer.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got a song.
I did one of those songs at your album release party.
Actually, but it's not out yet. It's not out yet, but I did perform it. Classy Girl Strut. Yeah.
The beat was hot.
Yeah, you'll hear more about it
She
later.
said Classy Girl Strut.
Take my time. I'm sure that I can make you mine tonight. It's about you and me. I know.
Well, you know, my album just dropped like the other week, but I got a lot of feedback, and majority of the feedback was, that's the one, we like that one. I mean, mixed opinions, but that one, I got the majority of the votes, and so you got to listen to, you know, the people around you, and if that's the one, then that's the one. So
Right.
it's gonna premiere tonight on Q.
Absolutely. So would you consider, because everybody has their most favorite song and least favorite song, not while they're recording it, but after they listen back to it. So would that be considered one of your favorites as well?
Yeah, it is one of my favorites. Yeah, I really like the production on it. It's produced by Cuddy Fresh, and he did an amazing job on that song. It really, I as an artist was able to really get into that song. It's, you know, I can't wait for it to premiere tonight.
Absolutely.
Worldwide.
So what would be your least favorite song?
Ooh, least favorite song. It's kind of hard to say. It was really hard for me to pick the singles because like almost every one can be a single. Least favorite song, that's hard.
There's not one that you kind of just want to brush over? Like when you think about your track list for your shows, there's not one that you're just like, oh no, let's just not do that.
I love every
That's pretty
single
good.
one, yeah.
That's pretty good.
I didn't want to put out a project, an album, where there's like, oh, 3 good songs, less than that, and then the rest you're like, you know, when you buy an album sometimes of an artist you like, and you get disappointed because you're like, there's only like maybe 2 or 3 songs I like on here, and the rest are just like,
I need a playthrough album.
Yes.
I need the heat the whole way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let me do it right for you.
no, I don't. I haven't shot the video yet, but we do have the treatment written and location, and the First Ladies. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're going to be directing the video. We don't have a date planned yet, but we're in motion. It's the Instagram filters. I did a little bit of modeling, just a little bit, just kind of dabbled into it, mostly because photographers asked me to, and I knew photographers, and they asked me to, you know, do a shoot, and it's nice to have, you know, if you're going to be able to have pictures, nice pictures of yourself, but never really took it seriously, like I wanted to pursue modeling. So, but being an artist, I realized it's kind of you kind of have to be a model too, when you know, your image. So I get to still do it, but I get to do what I really love to do, which is my music.
Right at the same time. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
On me right now.
So I'm like,
Hey.
If you wanna talk,
So, I guess we should have a little bit of fun. Yeah, have some fun. What you got? Crazy question?
Uh-oh. Hey, no.
same feelings there. I wanna know if you
That's a hard question to ask or to answer. I mean, because I don't really have too many crazy. I can't really think of anything.
Yeah.
so you've never been at like one of your events and then a guy walks up to you that actually knows you as an artist or just finds you really attractive, and and then like his come on line is just so off to where you're just like, do you know what you just said to me? That sounds crazy. Why would you ask me that?
I don't know, I can't really think of anything crazy, but something that does come to mind was I was just casually like at a bar, and he passed over, like, I guess he wrote a bunch of like a stuff on a coaster, and it's like a
And he
love
left it
type
behind for you?
thing. Yeah, but I don't know if that counts as it. It's kind of weird.
That's a kind of, I hope he doesn't see me
disturbing.
walking to my car.
I think that was a very good Heather Jen That Sounds Crazy moment.
That was-
I mean, it's all. I mean, that doesn't happen every day.
yeah.
If you feel it, I gotta know.
Jen?
It is.
Nice. That means that you made your album like really you.
I gotta know if you.
Well, besides the video that we're planning to shoot, I do have a show coming up. It's going to be it's a benefit show for violence, ceasefire, stop the violence. It's at the Columbia City Theater coming up on Memorial Day weekend on May 25th. So you'll hear more about that flyer and everything. So yeah, it's a good cause. My website, heatherjen.com, and then from there it'll connect you to all my social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and everything. So
Nice.
I just can't believe the way I feel inside. It's not hard to see. Oh, the things you do to me. Oh, you know just what I need. So, baby, let me know. Oh, I can't get enough of your love. I can't.
on some of the songs, so I think that would be different. And I think overall my sound, the feedback that I've gotten so far, it's pretty unique. I don't think it compares to. Hey, it's your girl Heather Jen, and you're tuned in to Justified Juice.
So,
Too many artists out there and what their sound is right now. So
I can't get enough of your love.
I would say pop.
Pop?
Pop
Was that your aim or?
music, and I'm a classically trained pianist. So even though it's a lot of R&B and pop, you will, if you pay attention to the production, there is some classical influence, and especially when you hear the piano.
Miss Heather Jen, what would you say pretty much sets you apart from the other singers? Not necessarily just Seattle, but other singers in general.
Well, I do a lot of the production of my